Today's segment, 30-Minute Thursday, where we take a recipe and we recreate it in 30 minutes or less. What's on the menu today? Homemade McGriddles. Let's get started. This is everything I have for us to go ahead and recreate our recipe for homemade McGriddles. I will make sure to include a recipe and a list in the description so you can see everything that I might have missed that we don't have out right now. And 30 minutes starts now. I want to actually start by getting my hash browns on. These guys are going to take the longest. So we'll get this guy opened up. That was clean. Perfect. What I'm going to start with is some olive oil in the pan. Unfortunately, hash browns take quite a bit of oil. So I'm going to get my oil hot for these to sit on top of when I put the hash browns on. But I'm also going to use some peanut oil to go in between the hash browns and lay them over the top as they start to cook, because that oil sets into those hash browns. They love moisture, so they're going to absorb a lot of that oil. But fortunately for us, that's also what makes them really, really crispy. And you'll see at the end what that crust looks like. When you start with your hash browns, you actually want to get these guys nice and flat in the pan. The temperature that I'm usually cooking these at is just a little above medium or just a little below medium. It totally depends on how many hash browns you're going to cook. And you guys can hear that. That's what we want from our hash browns, okay? Once you get them in the pan, spread them out. You want them as thin as possible. The thinner you can get your hash browns, the better the crisp. But this is the secret sauce when it comes to hash browns. It's freaking seasoned salt, man. Seasoned salt is fantastic on hash browns. What I want to show you really quick is you see the hash browns, the seasoning amount that I put on there, and you can see we're already starting to get a little bit of a texture. See all those guys sliding together? It's because the bottom crust is developing. You don't want to turn them. Let them go for roughly about 7 minutes on one side, especially if you're working with like a low medium temperature. If you're going to go a little higher, you can go about 5 minutes per side. But we want that crust to develop before we ever even consider turning that guy. Do you guys like my fit? Because this thing, I mean, come on. I am an official chef now, which means I got to carry myself like an official chef. So this is going to turn into a very serious cooking stream. Kidding. What we want to do while that's going is we're going to also get our bacon on. You guys want a pro tip with your bacon? You actually want to get that onto your pan before it even gets hot. When you cold start your bacon, it's going to allow that fat to render a little bit better and the flavors to develop without getting it too dark too quick. Get this bacon on and lay that out when it's still cold and it's coming up to temperature, and it will cook a lot better. Okay, so this would feed a family of 4, but it's only going to feed my family of 2 because, well, we've had rough weeks and we're gonna eat. Fat from your bacon will fill up that pan, and that's what's also going to cook it. Okay, so you don't have to put any oil or anything excess in there. Shout out to my sister. She's a huge McGriddle nut. She is a little odd though because she doesn't eat the egg on the McGriddle. Kind of ogre activity, right? What are you doing in my swamp? We're gonna get our pancake mix going, and those are gonna serve as our buns for our McGriddle. We're not gonna need a ton of mixture, so I'm just gonna follow the recipe just for one serving of pancakes. And now what we're gonna do is we're gonna utilize 1 egg. Crack that right in there. If you crack your eggs on a flat surface, it's actually better. If you crack it on a flat surface, it's actually a lot better than if you go on a corner, because that corner's localized, so it makes a really small indent. But if you're going like this, it makes a nice clean crack along the outside edge. 3/4 cup milk. Whisk this guy up. Don't overwork it. You absolutely can overwork it, but you want to break up those clumps. What happens when you overwork it? It's going to make the batter too thick, and that's why you get some pancakes that are a little bit too dense, the texture, by overworking your batter. What I did here with our hash browns, you can see I made a line right down the middle. The reason is they are going to have a nice crust along the bottom, and it's going to be much easier for us to flip if we have that line down the middle. Anytime dealing with bacon, you always want to allow some of the grease to run off and dry before we serve. So we're going to do that now. I usually get a paper plate or a bowl, anything of that case, and we're going to get 2 paper towels and just line them along the edges. That's where our bacon is going to go to sit. So what do we do with this bacon grease? Why don't we just use it? We're actually going to cook our sausage next. Are you ready for this, Sizzle? Temperature is on medium for this guy. It's been since we cooked the bacon as well over here. Chat, I'd love to hear too about your favorite breakfast spots outside of, you know, what are your quick spots? We were always, like I said, we were always a McDonald's family, but we also really enjoyed going to Burger King. Burger King has a bomb breakfast, croissants. Those are amazing. So I'd love to hear yours in the comments. So we're actually going to also utilize our milk to beat our eggs.
Hey, yo, what the fuck?
All right, so you guys saw me add just a little bit of milk to this batter. Usually, I would say that if you have about 4 eggs, you're gonna add about just over a tablespoon of milk. These are gonna make them nice and fluffy, okay? When you whisk, grab yourself a fork, and you're just gonna beat along as if you were, consider this a water mill and how the water mill works. You're just gonna go back and forth. And that's how you're gonna beat your eggs, making contact. You don't have to do it super forcefully, but nice and quick, just making contact with those yolks to break them up. So you guys see our sausage here and how it's cooking? It's getting a really nice cook along the outside here. So it has some really good skin developed, but it's not cooked in the middle. One thing I like to do, and you can do this a couple different ways. But one thing I like to do when I have situations like this is utilize a weight. You can utilize a pan and throw it on here, or a pot, or anything like that. You just want to set something along the top of it that's going to make contact and push that entire thing down and make good contact throughout the entire piece of sausage or whatever meat you're cooking with a hot surface. Quick look at our hash browns, and they're looking great. Let them go for just a couple more minutes and they'll be ready. And we're sitting at 5 minutes remaining, ladies and gentlemen. 5 minutes. So we'll get our yellow American cheese, is the version that I'm going to use here. That's what McDonald's is going to use for theirs. So go ahead and get your mixture into those cylinders. And here's what you're going to do with your syrup. Give this guy just a drizzle along the inside. 1 minute left. I don't think we're going to make it. We're going to go ahead and add just a little bit of salt to our mixture as well, to our pancake mixture. And that is our timer. Unfortunately, we are just a little bit over our time, but we're going to keep moving along here and get this guy done.
Mission failed. We'll get him next time.
This guy said, I'm going to show you an interesting trick here. Now we're just going to cut it into fourths. So now that we're cut into fourths here, we're going to actually just roll it nice and flat. And that's how they do their eggs over at McDonald's. So get a nice roll, pat it down to get any of that excess out, any of the excess batter that hasn't cooked just yet, and then release it the full way. And there you go. There's one of our eggs for our sandwich. Let's get our cheese on while these guys continue to cook. I'm just trimming up my bun here.
Somebody get these beggars out of here.
We're actually going to have a star on the show today, a guest, and it's going to be my fiance. She's going to try this thing. Look at that. Crispy hash browns. Nice thick bun. You can feel it's nice and soft, but cooked the whole way through the inside. 10 out of 10?
Yeah, it's so good.
Okay. Would you order it if it was on Uber Eats?
Oh my God, yeah. Over McDonald's every time.
There we go. 30-minute Thursday. We probably failed by about 6 or 7 minutes.
Are you serious right now, bro?
Thank you all for coming. I really appreciate it. Again, this is something that I started up as my own passion project. I love to cook. I love to share it with people. So this was an opportunity for me to educate where I can, share some incredible recipes, and grow as a chef myself. I love doing this. Really appreciate everybody coming out. Hope you enjoy your McGriddles if you end up making those, and hope you have a great rest of the Thursday. So thanks, everybody. Take it easy.
Spacey, I've been lost inside a daydream. These hopes of mine could really break me or catch me by surprise. Faces, sun-kissed skin inside a